Today's Tuesday, it's the 11th of February 2025. We've come down to Santa Ponsa. We haven't been down for a week or two, and just to see what's changing. It is a beautiful, spring-like day. Lots of work going on, including across the road, and I'll show you that in a moment. But before I do that, Sam wrote to me, and his birthday's coming up, but he also said that his friend Jackie is celebrating her 78th birthday. So I think we might have missed it, Jackie. My apologies. It's just been so hectic over here. But I hope you had a great 78th birthday. Also, Tracy, who's written to me many times in the past, she's wishing her mum happy birthday. Mum's 71. I'm not sure we're supposed to say that, Tracy, but happy birthday to Tracy's mum. Hope you had a great day. It's also
happy birthday to our lovely friend Jeanette in Malaga. Sending her lots of love and hope to see you very soon. Happy birthday, Jeanette. Hope
we can get over to Malaga to see you very, very soon. And today also marks a special day because Paul, my uncle, it would have been his birthday today. And
how old would he have been?
Oh, I don't know. He's 7 years older than me, so yeah, he'd been in his mid-70s. Sadly, no longer with us, but continues to be in our hearts.
Thinking of you, Angela.
And yeah, thinking of Angela, who hopefully is going to get her passport sorted and come and see us very soon.
Yes.
Aren't you, Angela? Well, no pressure, Angela, but get it sorted when you can, and you know you're always welcome to come and stay with us. Across the road we've got McDonald's, which looks as though they are taking the thing apart. It's big work doing, strange time to do it because it's now in February, and they've got to get the move on because hotels are actually opening up as we speak. And the beach, well, the beach is beautiful sunny day, and nobody on it really, just the odd person perhaps walking the dog or just having a little wander around. The fencing's still there, that's just to protect it, and the signs that they have been over with some sort of a machine, a bulldozer or perhaps, just to keep it clean. It's a very calm day today. Sun shining, blue skies. So the recent video that I've posted is actually about the Chinese New Year, which we'd both been, I particularly, but I think both of us have been looking forward to going to, having been there in 2023 and had a really good time with two of our grandchildren. And we were hoping that this year would be similar. In the end it wasn't, and it was a little bit too congested for us, so we gave it a miss. But as a follow-up from that, I'm not sure whether it's coincidental or whether it's by design, but the Chinese chiefs, the people who are organising these things and organise the Chinese community, have had a meeting with the town hall, with the Lord Mayor, in order to build a temple. And what they're proposing is to build the biggest Buddhist temple in Europe, and they're looking for help from the Palma City Council to see if they can suggest a piece of land or something where they can build. They're looking for quite a large piece of land, 3,000 square meters, and hope to build a Buddhist temple. Have they not got one
somewhere now already?
Well, I don't know. I'm assuming there must be some sort of a Buddhist temple here. There's lots of Buddhists here. Lots of Chinese here. And someone wrote to me today, actually, quite surprised that the Chinese community was so big, but it's a very big community. And they've all got businesses, a lot of them to do with import from China. So we've got lots and lots of Chinese shops which are stacked high with goods that come predominantly from China. But then there's other businesses as well. One of our favourite restaurants in Mayor, which was a very Mallorquin restaurant. We used to always have tapas there and typical Mallorquin type things. Pepito de Lomo, fantastic. And that was taken over by a Chinese family.
Tao.
And Tao, yeah. And we thought maybe it would change and we'd probably be eating noodles and all that sort of thing. But no.
They do actually do noodles.
They do things like that, but they really have. They've continued doing the tapas. They've continued doing the fantastic Pepitos de Lomo, and so we still go there, and they are just so efficient. They work hard, and well, lots of the locals there continue to go and are very well. They're very well accepted and integrated. So well done to them. And we were there a few weeks ago, and he said, "You must try this other Chinese restaurant, which is similar, not serving Chinese food, but serving typical food in Palma, and it's run by his wife. So they've got another place. So, good luck to them, and we'll be seeing them again very soon." So yeah, the Chinese community is very big. Lots of Chinese run shops, and Chinese massage is now the big thing that's coming up. You see them everywhere.
Feet spa.
Sorry?
Foot spa and nails.
Yeah, foot spa, nails. You can have their toes nibbled by a fish.
The sea looks beautiful, doesn't it?
You could probably just come and sit and hang your feet over here. I'm sure the fish would come nibbling. It's just lovely and calm today, isn't it? Look, just no big waves, just gentle ripples against the rocks. Been asked a number of times now about what cameras I use to do the filming. Most of them, like these that I'm filming now, are done with a GoPro, and I've used various GoPros over the years, starting I think with a GoPro 7, and then I went on to the 360 GoPro, which I do still use sometimes, particularly for the drives. I put it on top of the car, and that means I can post-edit it. But this GoPro I'm using here, I think it's a GoPro 11. I've got it inside a media cage, so I can't tell you the number. I'm pretty sure it's a GoPro 11. And I looked at whether I should upgrade to the GoPro 12 or the GoPro 13. And at the moment, there's not really any reason to, so I'll stick where I am till they bring one out which is improved or has some facility that I don't have on this one. The main thing I don't like about this particular GoPro is the sound quality when it's windy, and it's kind of a hassle to plug in microphones, so I need to work around that. I do have a media dock which makes it a little bit better, and I do have a separate microphone that I use now and again, but using the separate microphone means you lose a lot of the external sound, so if Anita's talking you perhaps won't hear her because it's concentrated on my voice. Anyway, that's my cameras. I also use a Sony camcorder. Remember the days of the camcorders? Well, I've gone back to using one of those. I remember years ago one of my former pupils telling me, "Oh no, it's digital SLR is the way to go." Videos, and I know people do actually make films with digital SLR cameras, but I tried that and it just wasn't, for me, wasn't quite as good. So I went back to the old camcorder and found a Sony that just does everything I want to. I film everything in 4K, and it comes well on our screens and our TV, so I'm happy with that. And the Sony also has quite good sound quality, considering I almost never plug a microphone into it. One thing I've toyed with is the idea of a drone.
Have you indeed?
And I know other people I know other people talk about them, but and I always think if I had a drone, it would end up in there, all wet and ruined. On my first takeoff, I remember my first remote control airplane got ditched first flight. It's what happens, isn't it? That was many years ago. And so I've not really been too keen on or too active on the idea. And then I went into Palma to do the filming of the Corrifoc. Anita was not keen on that, so she didn't come with me. And I've just read an article in the paper about a British guy who was filming the Corrifoc just as I was, but using a drone. As far as I can tell, it was only a very small drone. The rules for small drones are much more lenient than there are for bigger drones. And by small, we mean less than 250 grams. Anyway, a policeman came along to him and spotted the drone in the sky, found the pilot, the person operating the drone, and told him to stop. And the British guy said, "I'm entitled to do this." At least he thought he was. And it turns out he probably wasn't. And according to the newspaper, and I've seen it in a couple of different newspapers, he now faces up to 30,000 euros in fines. So that's definitely put me off having a drone. And
all the flowers planted here.
Yeah, a nice pool here. It's all set up. Got the beds outside, and I think there's people in there staying here now. So yeah, the rules for drones, they might be less for the smaller drones, but they're still there. And there are areas where you simply cannot fly them, and one of them is overcrowded areas. And I guess the Corrifoc might have come under that, because it was very crowded, and you have to have enough space for people to get out of the way of one which might be falling out of the sky. Though don't really define what a crowd is. And there are other restrictions as well. Built up areas, which again, Palma's a built up area, so it's another thing. And then there are no-fly zones within close to airports and close to other facilities, which again, Palma might well come into. So yeah, this poor guy now faces having his wrist slapped at best, or a 30,000 euro fine at worst. That's frightening, isn't it? I did actually buy some drones, they had got video cameras on them as well, but they were just very cheap things, and I bought them and gave them to the kids. And they would actually do tricks. They would hover, and then you press a button and it would just flip over. It was I thought they were really quite clever things, and you could film stuff while you were doing it. And they're really, I got them just after Christmas in a Carrefour sale, I think, and paid just a few euros for them, not very much. And we do have a friend in Austria who makes his living pretty much, I think, from flying drones, and makes advertisements that go on the internet, on the TV, all over the place. And I do have another friend here who's a drone pilot and works for the local film company. I think maybe I'll just leave that to the pros.
How beautiful that looks, doesn't it?
Keep my camera in my hand and film beautiful scenes like this. So we always walk up this side, we nearly always walk up this side, but there is a road that goes up the other side, eventually getting up to the cross, which is right in front of me now, pointing directly at the cross. And then beyond that, you've got the port of Santa Ponsa, which is also worth a little walk around, see some nice boats. So it's not just this side. The walk on that side, though, isn't by the sea, it's on the road. But there's lots of interesting cafes, lots of bars, and some restaurants worth discovering as well.
Do that next.
And when you get to the cross, you've got that little bit of history as well there. This is where Jaime landed 700 years ago, is it? It's a long time ago. 800 years ago. Before me, anyway. Just looking down at the water. How beautiful clear it is. Can actually walk down to it's really warm. I've put my gilet on and wishing I hadn't. I thought it might get cold, but it's just getting warmer. This is one of the areas where you can see they've actually dumped some concrete, and this is what they were protesting about in Bendinat, because the concrete does tend to get broken quite easily. But at the end of this one, you see these two stainless steel pipes. When the summer kicks in, someone will come and put some steps in there, and you'll be able to climb into the sea. And it's really deep here. It is. You could dive in there, and it is very deep. And it looks as though there was a puente, a bridge going across there. That's gone. I think it might well be in the water. There's some bits that look like they could have been bridge in the water there to get to the little island, which is now inaccessible unless you're going to swim and climb across these rocks, which I don't really recommend because they are as sharp as razors. And concrete, so you don't have to walk on them because they're very uneven as well, so it's not nice to walk on. I need to relax in there in the sunshine. She doesn't like the sun, by the way. I'm getting pretty warm as well. We need to get round into the shade a bit. You don't often say you're too hot in February, do you? We've been chatting to Angela, and she's been telling us how cold it is there in Stoke-on-Trent. This area is where the path's a bit broken. I'll do my Mission Impossible getting over it. But, that's been repaired once and needs to be repaired again. And then up the steps on this side, which a few months ago would have left me puffing and panting, but losing that weight really benefited me a lot. It doesn't really affect me too much. I mean, those few steps. I was here a few weeks ago and they were working on the terrace out here. They're still working on it, doing a great job. Not quite finished, but getting there. Can now walk on the tiles that they've put down and see what's gone on. It's looking really good. Still for sale though, the restaurant. And of course the swimming pool is out of action until they've finished all of this, but the rate they're going, by the time they've finished they can fill the pool, and it'll be nice for a swim for people who live in these apartments. It's a private pool, by the way, so don't think you can just come along and swim in here. You might get turfed off. You can walk across it, no problem. It is a public right of way as such, but the pool is for the people who own these apartments.
Oh! Wait! Let's go! Okay.
Nice little beach down here right in front of the apartments as well. People enjoying the beach as well. Nobody actually in the sea, but sunbathing and getting those rays. What did I say the date was? The 11th of February. And the ducks in the sea. A few more steps to go up, and then a bit of a slog to get up to the square area. All the building materials here are to do with that terrace that they're laying, and I was hoping they were going to do something about this. It has absolutely nothing to do with this, so we've got to stick to it. Anyway, we've got to go up there, and we'll catch you when we get to the top. See you in a bit. Well, that wasn't too bad, was it? We got up there, no problem at all. Even though there's a few hiccups and bumps on the way that need to be ironed out. And should we need it, there's a convenient cafe there. And this is a taxi rank area, so sometimes there are taxis here, but not a lot of point at the moment. I think, well, we can have a look here. I think the square will be completely deserted, I would think. Alright, I'll go and have a wander around the square while Anita has a little relax. So, one of these massage places that I was talking about. Lots of those opened up. And this is the square where, during the summer months, there's usually entertainment on every night of the week. And has been a very popular venue. My own feeling is it just, like the path we've just walked up, it just does need a bit of TLC. And some bits are good and some bits are a little bit neglected. So looking down here, the entrance is, in my opinion, a little bit neglected. Nice little garden area as we get to the square, and a huge sign which says the square. And then all around the outside there are various bars. This part superficially looks okay, but then you get a bit closer, you start to see there's lots of broken tiles and issues here as well. So here's the stage, and this is where the entertainment comes. Most people come at night, so they're not looking too closely at what the floor's like. They have a table out here, and they get the drinks from the bars. And there have in the past been activities for the children as well around here. Do also have the Santa Ponsa Community Church here. And a red telephone box. I've just made one of those, by the way. I might, if I remember, take some photographs of it and let you see what I've done. Things like this, I think, need a bit upgrading. Places that are, well, closed and for sale. Still needs a nice good clean up before the season starts, which for here is a little bit later because it's an outdoor venue, so they won't be opening up, I wouldn't have thought, until well after Easter. So they've got plenty of time to do that. If you fancy fish and chips, crispy cod. Ooh, I could eat that. I can say things like that because Anisha's not with me, of course. Little children's playground across there. It will have found, I'm sure, somewhere in the shade to sit. Taxi's arrived. Sending a messages. Everything all right? Are you ready to carry on? We've got a bit of a climb. Sorry?
Anything going on in the square?
Absolutely nothing. The square is as dead as a dodo. And hopefully, unlike the dodo, it'll come back to life. And the bars along here generally are doing their winter work. So they come in, maybe do a little bit of painting, a bit of cleaning, a bit of repairs, all the sorts of things that need to get done before the season starts. So nothing much open. Oh, there's a barrel, that would be nice in our garden, wouldn't it? Barandilla. It's a very nice Rioja red wine.
Butcher's is always open.
The Butcher's is open though, yeah.
Sausage meat.
Indian restaurant opening soon. It's another community that there's a lot of here and is well organised. And that's the Indian community. And over the years we've taught lots of Indian families and still keep in touch with many of them. Bit of a breeze up here. Well, we're getting on the downhill now. Well, as we're going down, it's not a lot to look at really, but just some things that again have caught my eye, and one of them, I'm very fond of facts and figures, and the UK tourism in the Balearics actually fell last year, 2024, more than anywhere else. But in other nationalities, well, their numbers of visitors went up. So German tourism, for example, topped 5 million for the first time as of visitors to the Baleares. So we're including here the other islands as well. But the highest percentage increase, not actual numbers, but percentage increase, was for places like France, with 14.8% increase, and they had over 1 million tourists coming to the islands. The German tourism was actually up just over 9%, with just over 5 million people coming to the islands. The American market, that's also increasing, and I've always said how small it is, but it's creeping up and getting towards that million mark. 787,000 American visitors in the States, so that's somewhere where it's gone up. But, amongst all of those, the groups that dropped a little were the UK, and the fall was only 3.2% to about 3.5 million. But in July it actually fell by 10%. So if you look at specific months, it's a little bit different. But overall, went down 3.2%. Why? And is that going to be repeated? Well, obviously some of you might remember that last year we did have the protests, and people were saying to us that they were being put off a little bit by that. But perhaps the biggest factor was the fact that it seemed to be expensive. I don't think the expensive bit's going to go away for 2025. And some people have already written to us and said it's getting a bit too expensive for them. And the other thing that's on the horizon is the entry-exit system. And it's been promised now for years, and it still hasn't happened. The entry and exit system. So when you come through from outside the Schengen area, when the system's up and running, you're going to have your photograph taken and your fingerprints taken, at least on first entry you will. And that's pretty much in place and ready to go in Palma, but other parts are not ready, and so it's been delayed and delayed and delayed. I did see a report, and I really don't know where they got their facts from because I couldn't find a good reference point, but they said the entrance and exit system will come in November. And then later on in the article it said the real date will be announced in May or June, so they're not even sure when it's going to be announced, and so I'm not sure how they can be sure about when it's going to be implemented. So it's just something we've got to keep our eye on, but the signs are that it's not going to happen this summer, and therefore won't affect the British tourists coming to the island this summer for their holidays. But it will eventually come in, and what it's going to mean is you're going to have your photograph taken, your fingerprints taken, and your passport scanned. All of that may cause some delays. I don't think in Palma it's going to cause much in the way of delays because they've got so many scanners already in place and ready to work. It should all run very, very smoothly. I think maybe the ports might have an issue. That doesn't affect Mallorca at all. No ships come here from outside the Schengen area, I don't think. Passenger ships anyway. I think they all come from either France or mainland Spain. But places like Dover might be an issue. And so that's all we know about it. And this is not the visa that we've been talking about. There is no visa actually for UK citizens. It's called a visa waiver, and it's a much easier thing to apply online for, and should be all done within a few minutes while applying online. But it does require obviously a form filling in and some checking to be done. That looks extremely unlikely to be happening in 2025, and possibly will be sometime later in 2026. These things just seem to be drifting further and further away, so not something to worry about or even think about, I think, for 2025. As soon as I do hear anything, of course, I'll be letting everybody know. One thing that is in place, and I'm very curious about and how it's implemented, is the data that's being collected at hotels, which has been referred to as the Big Brother system. And hotels have been implementing this since the beginning of December, but never really when mass tourism has been arriving, and how it's actually done. Some people have said no change at all for them. I guess most of the information might have been collected when they booked. But name, address, telephone numbers, email addresses, bank details. Well, we just booked a trip, and when we've done a mini break, yeah. When we've done that, we'll be able to tell you exactly what happens when you enter one of these hotels. At the moment, what information have I given? Well, I've given my name, but not Anita's. So that's a bit of information that's missing. I've given my telephone number, and I've given my credit card details to pay for it. The email's there. That's about it. So it's reported there's about 40 items of data that are being requested, or up to 40 items of data. Well, that certainly is nothing like that, so sounds like there's a lot more data. The data is only on me, not on Anita. And it's on everybody on the trip, including children, so we'll have to see. Someone did say that, someone wrote to me and said they'd been on a holiday to Canary Islands, and they had been asked for this information, which they just scribbled on a piece of paper, and that was accepted, so they just entered it. The issue for the hotels is, if there are mistakes, the hotel is liable. I don't know how the hotel can actually check your home address. If you don't tell them the true address, how are they supposed to check that? I really don't know. Anyway, we're going to have a little mini break and we'll see exactly how that works. And we are also going back to England in the not too distant future, and so we'll be able to check to make sure that there's no difference, no changes at the airport before the summer or even Easter kicks in. Well, we're almost at the Acapulco, which is our watering hole. Let's stop there and have a drink. Well, we're back in Acapulco. That's the bar, not the resort. And we always get a very nice coffee here, so cheers everybody. Cheers. We're going to enjoy our coffee now. See you in a bit. Well, it was a nice coffee at the Acapulco. We always like it there, and there's always a few locals into having a chat there. Anyway, we're going to carry on our little walk, and a couple of little other items of news to let you know about, and one of them is the train or tram that was proposed to go from Palma to the airport. Well, we had a change of government and they scrapped their whole idea, saying they could spend the money in a better way, and they were going to buy some electric buses. Anyway, they've now decided that we're not going to have a tram, we're going to have a train, and the train is going to go ahead, whether we get the grant and the money from Madrid or not. So they just need to get all the proposals finalised by this summer, and then they can start work on it. We'll see, but their aim then is not to stop at the airport. Well, I guess all of that will depend on whether the money runs out or not, but to carry on to Llucmajor. It's a bit of a long-term programme, could take quite a while, but it'll be interesting for us because we go to Llucmajor a lot, and quite nice to go by train, and well, we'll keep you posted on whether that happens. A train to the airport is a fantastic idea. I think it'd be great. The buses are not bad at all, but it's just nice to get on a train. I quite like that idea. So
it's very convenient at Gatwick, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we go to other airports. Gatwick was great this year, and just the airport has got the station in it. We go to Malaga, the airport's got the station inside. So lots of airports have got these railway stations. Palma, for some reason, has missed out. So see how long that is going to take, though. It's something that's got to be decided on, planned, very well planned, and I guess they're going to have to take bits of land from people, which is going to be tricky. So we're back by the beach, and it looks it's all ready, it's inviting. We're just saying how warm it is. I'm just sitting there looking at my phone, don't know how accurate that is, but it said 17 degrees, and once you're in the sun it feels a lot warmer.
So we don't need a coat on.
No. Well, certainly when we sat down, we sat outside at the bar, and I took my jacket off. I was just too warm. Work is progressing there. Look, still loads going on there at that McDonald's, and the McDonald's sign has actually gone. So is it still going to be McDonald's? Big question. We'll keep you posted as we come back. Getting a bit of a breeze coming in from the sea now. The time is just after 2:20 in the afternoon. That's the H10 Casa del Mar Hotel, 4-star hotel. It's not open yet. There are some hotels already open though here in Santa Ponsa. I'm not sure which ones. I just wanted to walk a little bit further up here just to show you the progress of the work, because the road coming down from the windmill roundabout to the front, once you get to the big supermarket, the big Eroski, it's closed on the left-hand side. That's the side leaving Santa Ponsa, and then a bit further down it's closed on the right-hand side as well. So we had to take a little diversion to get here. So still getting on, but I'm pretty sure that they've nearly finished at this end. And then I get to this point and I see there's work going on right in front of the Tourist Information Office. Well, we'll take a walk around this way. You can see the flag blowing there, it's indicating the breeze that's picking up a little bit. And as we work our way through February, we get to March. I might have to change microphones, so the wind is picking up. And in March we'll get St. Patrick's Day, which is one of the big events that goes on
Caterpillars here
in Santa Ponsa, so we'll certainly be down for that, all being well,
Caterpillars
if we are here. Sorry?
Caterpillars on the floor.
Have I missed some caterpillars? I'm sure we're going to see lots more of them. There are just lots and lots of nests in the trees, and Anita takes great delight in pointing them out everywhere we go. And we have seen one or two already now on the ground. They are not very nice, so certainly don't let children play with them. I mean, they look quite cute and they're really, really nasty. And if you've got an allergy to them, it's even worse. But everyone suffers with them. But here we go. This is what we're talking about. These are the processionary caterpillars. We've not quite formed a procession yet. There's only 2 of them. But they can form lines which go on for meters and meters and meters. And sometimes the one at the front meets the one at the back. They go around in circles.
They used to burn them at school, didn't they?
Yeah, we used to have a school secretary who used to come out with a bottle of alcohol, spray them with alcohol and then set them on fire. And it might sound rather barbaric, but it is definitely the best way to deal with them, because it destroys the hairs which cause the problem. If you sweep them, then the hairs get broken off, they get into the atmosphere, and they cause problems. At the very least, it's itching, but worse than that, it just causes rashes, and these rashes can be so bad, people end up in hospitals. Animals, like dogs for example, it can kill them, so it's really something to avoid. And it's always at this time of the year, February.
Lots of pine trees here, aren't there?
Every year, and yeah, we're in a little pine tree forest here. And the government tries different things. When we first came to the island, at a certain time of the year, not now I don't think it was, I don't know, they used to spray. They used to come over with insecticide and spray aeroplanes. But then people were saying, well, look, you're spraying with these insecticides which are poisons, and we're down below, so we're breathing them in. So they decided they'd stop doing that. So they don't do that, as far as I know, anywhere on the island. And they've tried various moth catchers. These are little black boxes which the moths can fly into, but then they can't get out of. But that doesn't seem to have been hugely successful. And then last year they tried these rings around some trees, very, very few trees. It seemed like a very expensive way of treating them. I've seen a few, and if you watch back some of the videos that I've done from last year, you'll see them. But I think that was more done as an experiment, and to actually do them on every single tree would be, well, nigh on impossible. Remember a few years ago we had a hurricane that came through, and they were talking about over 1 million trees coming down, and we still have lots of trees, so to actually do all of the pine trees would be, yeah, impossible. In other parts of the island, more rural parts, they're giving out shotgun cartridges to the hunters, asking them to shoot them out of the trees. And that certainly was something that was done years ago when we first came here. We used to hear about that, and instead of having little lead balls inside the shotgun cartridge, they would put salt, and it would just splatter the hounds, and well, it wouldn't stop the hares getting into the atmosphere, but it would stop them reproducing and metamorphosing. I guess that's what they do, isn't it? Just across there is the car park we sometimes park in. Not in that one anyway today. We park behind McDonald's, but we've come around this way just to show you a couple of things, and that's the work that's going on the road.
But you need to mention the football last night.
Oh dear, yes. So yeah, okay, we'll mention the football, thank you. So Mallorca were playing at home against Osasuna on a Monday night, 9 o'clock kickoff. It's a bit cold in the evening, so we took a blanket and wrapped up, so it wasn't too bad for us. And our friend Monroe, who writes for the local newspaper, referred to it as soporific.
Soporific. Really good word, that
Good word for the day, yeah, soporific. And
bringing on drowsiness.
Bringing on, yeah, sleepiness. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I always like to watch it, so it doesn't bring on any drowsiness to me, but I can see what he meant. It was just not very good in the first half. We didn't get anywhere. In fact, pretty much the whole of the match we didn't get anywhere. And then towards the end, Mariki was fouled in the penalty area, and we got a penalty which Mariki took and scored the penalty, having missed a couple of opportunities earlier on in the game which you think he might have taken and done a better job of, but he didn't. So
everybody thought we'd won.
90 minutes, we were winning 1-0. People were reasonably happy with the score as it was, but that wasn't to be, because in the 90-something minute, 95th minute I think, the ball...
8 minutes extra time.
There was 8 minutes of added time. The 95th minute, the ball was bobbling around in our penalty area. The goalkeeper saved it, and it got knocked out, and somebody tapped it in, and 1-1. And that wasn't the end either, because about a minute or two later, they had a great shot on goal, which our goalkeeper, Dominic Greif. Good grief, yeah. He saved it, a really good one-handed save, and saved the day, really. Otherwise, we could have lost that match. Luckily, it ended 1-1. We got a point, which I said afterwards was a fair result, considering how we played, how they played, and the fact that we were the home team. But really, we need to be doing a bit better than that, and hopefully next week. Match is on a Sunday evening, not so late this time. It's a 6:30 kickoff, but it's another home game, so we've got 2 home games in a row.
Well, in 5 days, really.
And Las Palmas, I think it is, next week, so they're not doing so well. They're down in the bottom half. Maybe this is our chance to get 3 points and move a little bit further up, and hopefully get some of our goal-scoring professionals getting some goals in. Goals have been sadly missing, so that penalty yesterday was the first goal we've scored this year, 2025, and we still haven't won a match in 2025, and we're now halfway through February. So come on, Majorca, I want to see a little bit more.
Come here again, so we have a lovely meal.
This is Harry's, yes. That's one of the things I wanted to come along here for. Ooh, they've got a special Valentine's Day menu, which is 69 euros for the couple. So yeah, not each. That's for a couple of you. So not a bad price at all. if you come along for lunch, they have these these special lunch menus and lunch dishes. So it's not a menu of the day; it's just a special dish, $10.95 for the Plateau del Dia. What's really good and well worth a visit for is their Sunday lunch: roast beef and or chicken or pork, whichever you want, honey roasted ham, and that's only $12.95 for lunch, Sunday lunch. Fish and chips, $12.95, delicious. So this is the road that's been under destruction, and this part's actually been completed. You can see here, all the way up there, it's all been filled in, but it's not finished because it starts again just there, just at the end of that, and the road is actually cut off in both directions.
I can try driving down here.
I need to see a shop open.
50% off flip-flops.
Here's Cafe Mozart. This is where we usually meet Mel and Nita, and they're coming out a bit later on this year, so hopefully we'll be around to see them. We haven't really got very well organised so far this year, so we've got a little bit to do. We've now just booked our first little escapade, which is just in a couple of weeks' time, 2 or 3 weeks' time. But as far as the summer's concerned, we've not organised anything yet. Top Fusta, that's a shop that Anita likes. I did a video in there at the request of the owners. They said they were quite happy for us to do that. So. Heading back towards the car now. And perhaps just a final bit of news that was wanted to tell you about was the bridge in across the Paseo Maritimo that goes into Club de Mar, the yacht club. Is going to be demolished later on this month. I don't know if I'll be able to get down there to video any of that, but I might try to. We've got a lunch organised for that day, so it's not very convenient. But later on this month they're going to be knocking that one down. Nothing, I don't think, has been said about the one that comes from the Mediterranean hotel restaurant, which came down to the swimming pool. That's still there. It's a bit of an eyesore, really. The problem is that the building and that is listed. At least that appears to be the problem. And so they've not actually said that they're going to do it. And this would be an ideal opportunity to get them both done. You don't have to close the road again. But again, we just have to wait and see. There's something interesting. The Irish Soul's got lights on outside, and this has been empty for a long time. And now they've got all the lights on.
Probably solar.
Maybe. Maybe they're going to be getting it moving again this year and opening up. Everywhere has to have an Irish pub, don't they? You have to go and get your Guinness from somewhere. 31 degrees. Well, I don't think that's quite right. The
Really?
pharmacy here says 31 degrees. I mean, I know I'm pretty warm, but not 31 degrees warm. But it just shows what effect the sun has. And if you're in a sheltered spot and you're getting those direct sun rays, it does feel very warm. to the H10 hotel. Well, we've had a good walk today. How many steps have you done, dear?
My watch doesn't want to tell me. Only 6,600.
Oh dear. I was hoping for more steps than that. We're up to 7,000 by the time we get to the car, and we shall probably go out for a walk later on.
I will go for a walk later on.
I can't be sure whether they're putting a new roof on or taking the old roof off still on the McDonald's there, but whatever it is, there's a lot of work going on.
But they're having the lunch now.
Yeah, it's lunchtime now, so the work stopped and all is quiet. Well, we're going off home now, having had a lovely walk here in Santa Ponsa.
Very nice.
Thanks very much for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.